Hey YouTubers and gamers, and I'm back, and it's been a while, but I've got a bit of a Monty pickup video to show you. These are things I've picked up not over the last probably over the last month or wherever it's been, plus a few other bits I've picked up a bit earlier which I didn't have a chance to show you guys. So it's quite a lot to go through and quite a lot to show, but with no further delay, let's get stuck in. Turn to hardware. A while back I showed you my Android little television machine, which I can use for playing lots of emulators and stuff on, and I wanted a way of playing that easily on the go, especially if I'm travelling, visiting family members and so forth. So I was thinking of two minds of whether or not to get like a little DPD, little all-one Android retro machine type thing to play, which is portable, or getting something that I can attach to my Android machine. So I thought about getting a screen, and I did a bit of research, and Hori, which is a wonderful Japanese manufacturer, they make great accessories, particularly controllers, but they also make a few add-ons like LCD screens, and in the past they've done some for the PS3 and PS2 and even PS4 models. The trouble with those screens is that they can only be used with that particular hardware, and it's attached to it, and it can be a bit bulky. But this device is quite a clever device, straightforward and simple, but it also means you can plug in any HDMI input device really. Also you can, if you've got like a SCART to HDMI converter or AVS or composite to SCART to HDMI converter, which I've got, you can do other, you can connect the old machines. And basically what it is, it's the Hori portable HD gaming monitor. It's I think it's 16 inches, I can't remember now, but it's a good size, 15.6 inches, so nearly 16 inches. And here it is. It's very portable. It comes in a durable case. It's very much like one of those luxury iPad cases really. And you've got the option on the back to remove the case if you want to. The screws there. And it's got the proper licensed PlayStation logo. And it folds out like that. It does. And on the side, you've got two HDMI inputs. You've got also two inputs for two sets of headphones. So if you want to play two-player with someone using headphones, you can. Saying that, the sound that comes from this, it's got built-in speakers. It's pretty good. It's not obviously as good as your my 50-inch TV, but it never will be, would it? But as a portable device, it's good sound. And on the right-hand side, you've got all your settings for changing the HDMI input or volume, the menu, and an on-off power switch. And obviously on the menu, you've got options to change the settings of the screen, color, contrast, mode, whether it's gaming mode or TV mode or whatever else really. But this is ideal. It's extremely light. It is really light. So I bought a nice little backpack I have, which I can put this into, along with any my little Android machine or any device I want to plug into it to have it on the go really. So next time I go on holiday, I can take this bad boy, and when the others are watching TV or doing other bits and bobs, I can actually play a hell of a lot of games on a decent sized screen. So it's very nice. It's not bad value for money. I got this on Amazon, and it comes with a UK plug, and it was about £180 it was, so not the cheapest of things, but all in all, for a screen that size, I thought it was quite good, especially a portable one. Okay, still the hardware, turning to a Saturn. I was visiting family in Norwich just before New Year, and popped into CEX and in Norwich, And this little bad boy, it's obviously a Sega Saturn racing controller steering wheel. It still needs a little bit of a clean, to be perfectly honest, and it's probably not the best. It's got flappy paddles and stuff, but it's all working order and everything else. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it was about 15 quid or 16 quid. Yeah, so it wasn't, you know, it wasn't expensive or anything. But usually I only see these on very rare occasion at car boots and stuff. I don't really see these in stores anymore these days. So but for 18 quid to full collection, a nice proper licensed first party Saturn racing steering wheel, I thought why not? They won't be around forever, will they? Especially as more people get into collecting, especially for Saturn. Still with Sega, got a Saturn steering wheel. I thought I'd get myself a proper licensed Dreamcast steering wheel. I've got this all resealed, so I'm not going to bother getting this out just yet. It's a black steering wheel, obviously. It's no paddles, or foot paddles. It's all flappy paddles, and it comes with. It's got the instructions, everything all in there really, and it's got a nice little side socket for you to plug in your VMU. Now I got that complete on auction on eBay. It finished at £12.99 plus another £7 postage and packaging, so it's 20 quid for that. So I think that's a bloody good deal really for a boxed Dreamcast steering wheel. So yeah, especially for those you know, classic Sega Saturn racing games. Excuse me. Right, what shall I do now? Let's turn to PSP, shall we? In CEX a couple of weeks back for, I think it's about £2.50 it was, Patapon 2. I have a first one. There's a third one which is very uncommon, so I still got to get that, but I think it's about 35 or 40 more PSP games I've got to get. That's on my list really. They're not going up in price, I'm glad to say, mostly, but I'm just conscious that might change at some point. So, but you don't get to see too many PSP games around. You know, usually it's the same old titles. So it's a tricky system to collect for once you start rounding down to harder to to seek out titles. And these are what these ones are. I decided while they're still relatively not too madly expensive. Too madly expensive, that's a good phrase, isn't it? Well, they're not too stupid prices to try to pick them up. So I got these games I got off from CX website, and I sort of crossed my fingers hoping that they'll come with manuals, and they all did. And they all were significantly cheaper than on the Amazon and eBay. So so I've got two Mega Man games, Mega Man Powered Up and Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. I think together they were about, I think it was about 25 quid, or between 25 and 30 for these together really, in total price. I mean, obviously you've got to purchase them separately, but I can't remember what they were separately, but I think they worked out about 30 quid in total for those two really, all complete, so that's good. Now this game, it is keeping up a lot in price. You're looking at easily at £40 or not more on eBay and stuff. And but I managed to get off CX on their website for £27 or something like that, and it all came complete, which is a bonus. And it's Castlevania for Dracula X Chronicles. So yeah, basically I just wanted to get the expensive PSP games out of the way, so if they do creep up in price, I'm not going to get stoned too much really. Okay, turning from PSP, still let's turn to a Dreamcast. I've got one game which I had in CX. I'm pretty much finished collecting for a Dreamcast, but on occasion I might see an odd game which takes my interest, especially if it's dirt cheap, and this one was. It was complete in CX for 6 quid. It is for Nomad Soul, and for those of you in the know, this has got a soundtrack that was done by David Bowie. Yes, the late David Bowie. and he does his image, his face does is represented on a character, I do believe, later in the game, really. So it's done by Eidos, people who bought us Tomb Raider. So yeah, that was only £6, so I thought I'll pick that up. Fair price, a very fair price. Okay, from Japan, I've got an import here. It's a Saturn game, but you can also get it on the PlayStation 1. Although the PlayStation 1 copy is a lot more money. It is Cyberbots Full Metal Madness. So basically, it's like a mech type 2D fighting type game. So yeah, very pleased to have that. And yeah, I find that with a lot of Japanese Saturn games, most of them aren't, you know, silly prices really. And you know, most of them, you know, unless it's RPGs, the language issue is not really, you know, a problem. But there are, you know, quite a few good shooters on the Saturn, as we all know, and those can be quite pricey. But it's just, you know, shocking to think how many Japanese exclusives there was on the Saturn compared to what we got in the West. It's, you know, if you consider those, the Saturn has a fantastic sized library. And it's a shame we didn't get more love really, so more of those titles could have come over here really originally, but then we had a PlayStation. I must admit, you know, everyone I knew went for a PlayStation. I didn't know anyone who had a Saturn in the day, so there you go. But I guess if we had more decent Japanese shooters over here, I don't know, I might have been tempted, I don't know. Okay, turning to PlayStation 1. I got this in CX. Again, it's very hard to come across many PlayStation 1 games in England at the moment, in the wild. Hardly ever see them in charity shops, and when you do see them in CX, they tend to be, you know, a very small number. So I think there's about another 40 PlayStation 1 games I want to get really, but is it 40 or is it more than that? I can't. Tell a lie, it's actually much higher, it's actually 70, that's all I'm getting mixed up with another system notes, but 70 PS1 games I still want to get. And it's just trying to see them in the wild for a fair price really, but anyway, Wipeout 3, all complete. It wasn't a lot of money, I think that's about £6 or something, and you can easily go for a lot more now on eBay, so good price. Okay, this game I purely got because I didn't really need it as such, because I've also got it on PS2, but I had the second game on the PS1, which is a UK release, but I wanted to do the first one, but it was only released in Japan on the PlayStation, and that was Strikers 1945 Part 1, so it's not the second one, it's the first one. And these World War II 1945 and 1942 and 43 and 44, whatever games, they are so good. Capcom did a fantastic job with those. I say Capcom, it's also done by a company called Saiko or whatever, so it's a collaboration between the two, I think you'll find. I don't know if Capcom bought out Saiko and ended up publishing all their games, I don't know what happened. But this is a classic, and I got this imported from Japan. It was about £20. But I think this could be a game that, you know, will ultimately become more sought after because it is such a good game. Okay, let's turn. I've got a few 3DS games. I've got these in Argos because I had some taking advantage of some deals. I had some Argos vouchers. Argos is like a catalogue shop in the UK, but they also have retail store outlets that you go to and you pick up your items out from the catalogue. But basically, I got a lot of these discounted, so all these 4 games were about the half a normal retail price. So we got Monster Hunter Stories, Kirby Battle Royale, Hey Pikmin. Now this game, I'm not really into Mario Party games. I'm not into collecting them because they're not cheap, to be perfectly honest, and there's quite a lot of them. But when I saw this, I thought this is probably a good one to get because it's like a combination of all the best mini games. So it's Mario Party, the top 100 games. So I thought, yeah, that's probably a nice collection to pick up. In game.co.uk on the part of the 3 for 2 deal, I got for about, this would have been worked out about 14 quid or something. Snoopy's Grand Adventure. This game's becoming this common in a while to see, but it's Snoopy, so gotta have it. Okay, now it's a DS. I know there's about 40 games I want to finish off really, and I decided again to try to focus. There's still a few more big hitters to get, but I tried to focus on the big hitters first of all. And these games, I've got half these on eBay for very good prices, and the last one was off CEX. So for about 8 quid, Pokemon Ranger. These are all complete, of course. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Alma or Alma. Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. And this last Pokemon game on a DS, it's very uncommon. It can go for easily for about 40 quid. I got it for about £25 I think off CEX, and it came all complete, which is a bonus. And that is Pokemon Conquest. Okay. Right, it's time for another drink break, excuse me. Okay, turning to the Switch. At long last, the Switch has got a relatively not bad library out now. If you go about 5 months ago when you went in to look for a Switch, there's probably about 6 games to choose from really in the stores. But now it's getting more respectable. There's a good 30 odd games or whatever you can to choose from. But I've been collecting the more, focusing more so on the exclusives and the games that I think, yeah, I'd definitely like to have out on the portable system. So an exclusive one is Stern Pinball Arcade. I've got that for £18 from game.co.uk, which is quite a good price for that. It's got some classic pinball machines on there, like the Ghostbusters one, and AC/DC, and what's the other good one? Star Trek, that's it. I know there's there's a couple of pinball arcade machines also on the PS4, but that's one that that's only one with those particular titles on the portable system. Anyway, then there's Konami's Super Bomberman R. I got this from Argos, part of the deal, and so it ended up being half the retail price. So again, about 15 to about £17 or something like that. Okay, this game I got online and off Amazon. It wasn't a lot of money actually. It was about I think it was just over 20 or something like that. Really, it wasn't a lot more than a basic version. And it is a collector's edition of Axiom Verge. It's, I think it's supposed to be like an R-type stroke Metroid type shooting type game. But I think this is going to be one of those games that will become highly collectible at some point in the future. I'm pretty sure this will be a modern must-own game. So I've got this on most systems actually. I've got this on the PS Vita because that's a limited edition copy, and I got the standard copy on the PS4, which I'll probably show later, and I also got this limited edition on the Switch really. Again, I only went for limited edition copies because they weren't much more than a standard one, so I thought I might as well do that. Okay, turning to the PS3. Okay, this was about £2.50 from cash converters. So it's a game that's been released. It's quite an uncommon game. Test Drive 2 Unlimited, another racing type game. It's co-published by or produced by Atari and Eden Games. Got a first test drive, so I wanted to get a second one on the PS3. I had a limited edition or collector's edition of this on the PS4, but I wanted to get a standard edition for the PS3, and that is Murdered Soul Suspect. I got this game for about 13 quid. It comes with a DVD as well, and it's Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution. There's so many of them out, but I'm collecting all of them. Okay, this is this game. You can only get it on like a greatest hits stroke platinum type copy, really, and it's like an ultimate version of Grid, the racing game. So it's Race Driver Grid, and it's reloaded. Again, I don't normally get any platinum copy games, but because this is pretty much the only way of getting this one, because it's got all the DLC on the disc. I thought I'd get it while it's cheap. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it was about £7 or £8. Okay, this last game here on the PS3, I got to thank my mate Luciano from Austria. He has a great collection on the PS3, and he does lots of PS3 videos. He does collect and play other systems, of course, but PS3 seems to be his system of choice. And he managed to pick up this copy quite cheaply in Austria, I think it was. I think it came from the German store, so I'm not too sure. But he got it cheap for me, and it's a really nice gift from him. He did come over to the UK a little while ago to see his girlfriend, but unfortunately I couldn't meet up with him at the time because I had other family commitments. But he did post this to me along with a couple of PC games, which I'll show a bit later. And this is Truck Racer on a PS3 by Big Ben Games. I think it's a German publisher or developer, but it looks fun. It looks fun. It does, and it's a very uncommon game on the PS3. So it's nice to have that all sealed. I will open it up, of course. Okay, what should we do now? Okay, one original Xbox game. It's an American import, Iron Phoenix. It seems to be it sort of combines first-person shooter elements plus a bit of a fighting type game. So it's pretty much a kind of brawler, but it is an Xbox exclusive, and it's exclusive to USA as well. We did not get that in Europe, so I imported that, and I got it for a decent price. I think including shipping it was about 15 quid, so that's not bad, considering it's coming from the States. Okay, on the 360, this finally came. I've burnt this to my Xbox 360. I have, because I really wanted this, and it's Raiden Fighters Aces. So it's got Raiden Fighters on here, Raiden Fighters 2 plus Raiden Fighters Jet. So it's got a free classic Raiden or Raiden, however you pronounce it, shooter games. So it's really nice to have that, and again it's a USA exclusive, so to import this, it's not cheap. I mean, it cost me about 40 quid, I'm afraid. And if you're in the States, you can probably see this out in a while much cheaper, but I suggest that if you do see this and you don't own this in the States, get it, because it will get harder to see because more collectors hold on to their copies. But yeah, another top-down bullet hell shooter top for collection. While we're with Xbox, shall we turn to Xbox One? Nothing uncommon. I think this was about £17 in CX. Forza Motorsport 6. Okay, these next two games are USA exclusives again. I had to import these from the States, and I think they worked out for just under 20 quid each. So it's the first Dead Rising game, and Dead Rising 2. So obviously you can get these on the PS3 and Xbox 360 quite easily over here, and but to get them on the Xbox One, not easy unless you get digital copies. Okay, I came across this when I was doing a bit of digging or research on eBay, and it's an American basically it's a light gun game. That's it. That's what a word I was trying to think of, and it's called Reload. It's an American exclusive. It looks okay. I'm not too sure if it's any good or not. It wasn't a lot of money, including postage. It was about 10 quid from the States, so I thought I'd pick that up for a wee collection. Okay, I don't really collect many PC games, but a couple of these were gifts, and a couple of these I saw in the charity shops next to nothing. So first of all, from Luciano again, Rift on the PC. These are both German copies, but I'm sure they'll have English language as an option. And Star Wars The Old Republic as well, all complete. So, nice gifts. Thank you very much, Luciano. And from a charity shop, this was about £1, so I couldn't turn it down. It is Extreme Ghostbusters. It's like a creativity type program, but it also has some mini games. It's Ghostbusters, you know. Why not? And finally, I never knew this existed. I just saw this in the charity shop. It's all complete and quite a good condition, 5 quid. It's Blair Witch limited edition triple pack, and it's got 3 volumes of games, 3 of them, believe it or not, on a PC. I mean, they're probably mediocre and stuff, but again, this was free. This was a £5 for all 3, so I thought, that's not a bad price for a nice little, collection of all 3 games. So I thought, yeah, why not? Okay. Turning to PS2, I have a couple of Saint Seiya games. The Sanctuary, again, I got these off eBay for between £8 and £10 each. Saint Seiya, the Hades. Okay, this next game, it was like, I think it's about £1.50 or something from CX. If you see this, guys, pick it up, definitely. It's one of the best football games out there. It's based on old school, sensible soccer, and it's a nice, the graphics aren't amazing, of course, but it's not about graphics, it's all about gameplay, and this game is supposed to be superb. It's Sensible Soccer 2006. There's also Sensible Soccer, I believe, on the PS1. These games are very much old school type mechanics, so if you like the old school 16-bit soccer games, you'll love these. So definitely, if you see this Sensible Soccer, do get it. It's dirt cheap. Okay, this game was about £1 as well from a charity shop. Don't see it that often. It's by Activision. It's a wakeboarding game on the PS2. So obviously you do wakeboarding. It's different. How often do you see games that does that? Never really. So it's a bit of a novelty. For £1, why not? Okay, got this for about £8 off eBay. Dead to Rights 2. Not many people knew this game existed. It's Namco, so it's good to have that for a collection. Okay, this one, now this is quite a pricey game, and I got this from Italy. It's in fantastic condition. It's all complete with a manual. It obviously plays in English. It's a Curry game, and it is a cassette RPG. It's Soul Nomad. Interesting, that's called Soul Nomad, but before I've shown that Dreamcast game, it was called Nomad Soul. Bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Anyway, it's Soul Nomad and the World Eaters rather. and this is supposed to be a classic, one of them, you know, really must own PS2 RPGs, but it's not cheap. To get a PAL English copy, it'll cost an arm and a leg. I think you may pay well over 60 quid for a PAL English copy. I'm not too sure if it came to the States or not, but certainly I got an Italian copy here, and this was about, including shipping, under 30 quid, so I thought that weren't too bad actually. It's one of the big hits of a PS2, so I wanted to get it for a good price before it gets in harder to find really. You never see this in the wild. Okay. Right, this other game, again I came across this by doing a bit of research. It is a Japanese exclusive. It's very similar, I guess, to games like those shoot 'em up shooters like with Cotton and stuff, but it's basically the same principle. It's a top-down vertical shoot, I think you call it, and it's got this little girl who rides like a broomstick, and obviously go along shooting things. It's called Twinkle Star Sprites La Petite Princess, with, you know, little princess. So again, this is a Japanese exclusive on the PS2. Again, it being Japanese doesn't matter, it's a shooter, so that's cool. It wasn't a lot of money. I think I got this for under 20 quid, including import duties from Japan. But again, it's a game that might slowly creep up in price, you know, because there's a few Japanese PS2 games like Ibarra that go for silly money, like over 150 quid and stuff. So I'm not saying that this will cost that much, you know, soon, but it will probably eventually creep up as people become more aware of Japanese games to get and start collecting more. I think it's I think interest in the PS2 will grow, especially with the exclusives from abroad. Okay, right, drink break time. Right, last but not least, let's turn to PS4. Got a nice variety of games here, including quite a few imports and some exclusives. So let's turn to this game. I've got this from Japan. You can only get it in Japan. It's a game that keeps its price. It is a Godzilla game, Godzilla Versus. This was about over 30 quid. Not cheap. Definitely not cheap. You can easily pay a lot more than that. I don't know why we didn't get a release of this, port of this, because we've got the port of the last Godzilla game, but this is the one to go for. It's a more of a proper beat 'em up type one. So this is, you know, a good one to collect on the PS4. Alright, a cassette game. It wasn't a lot of money. It was about, you know, 13 quid. Everybody's Golf. I think it's called Hot Shots or something like that, or Golf or something in the States. I mean, the series is, I think that game particularly is still called Everybody Golf in the States for some reason, but normally the older ones are called Hot Shots. Okay, this is another gift from Luciano. He's posted this to me. I think it was this game. Pretty sure it was this one. Yeah, it was. And that is Earthstorm. This is another Rising Star game, so it's a nice Japanese little developer stroke publisher. If you ever see that little red star, that is like a seal of quality, you know. Like LGN games have got their seal of shitness. Rising Star games have a seal of quality. I've not come across a Rising Star game that's shit. So if you see that little red star, it's worth a punt. Okay. Okay. I've been waiting for a long time for this game to come down in price, because it's a Steelbook edition, and it's of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I played the story mode of this. It's pretty good actually, a story mode. You know, it's the quality that you expect with the Marvel games, and but it's nice to get a Steelbook copy, and I got this for about 30 quid from Game, which is I know you can get the standard edition for cheaper than that, but this is a Steelbook one, which is the one I wanted. Okay, so there. I can't remember what I paid for this. It wasn't a lot. It was on the list. It's one that you don't see that often. Kung Fu Panda: The Showdown of Legendary Legends. Not a bad series of movies. I'm not too sure what the games are like, but I'm probably assuming they'll be okay. I would have thought. Okay, this game was about a tenner. It was more of a puzzle game. It's called Rhyme. And it sort of kind of reminded me of, you know, like the Last Guardian type, you know, mechanics between a boy and a pet and an animal, and, you know. So it may be one of those games that become more sought after as time goes by. Okay, okay, but I can't remember if this was based off a of some comic books or novels or something. I don't know. It's called The Dwarfs. Again, it's by THQ Nordic. Another sign of quality. Yeah, it's based on the best-selling novel, The Dwarfs. It's based on a book, I see. Yeah, I like, you know, those fantasy type games, you know, Lord of the Rings, all that business, you know, so why not? It wasn't a lot of money, it was about 15 quid. There you go, I've got the PS4 Axiom Verge copy, you know. Again, it's just a standard copy because I'm quite happy with that for a PS4. I will open that and play it at some point. Okay, Project Cars 2 Steelbook Edition. I think this was about 20 quid from Game, which is a good price for it actually. Yeah, it can go for a lot more. It's supposed to be an okay racing simulating type game. Probably not as good as Gran Turismo, but still. And the first one, Project Cars Steelbook again. This is about £25 off eBay, limited edition. Okay. I've got these games relatively cheap. I think this was about a £10 off Amazon. Elder Scrolls Morrowind and the Ultimate Street Fighter 5 edition, the arcade edition. I think that was about 18 quid off game.co.uk. I got this off Amazon used. It was about a tenner. The Ezio collection. It's quite nice because it's actually got games actually on disc. So you've got Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelation all on disc. So it's not DLC or download, you know, downloadable content. It's quite nice. Okay. No exclusive from Game. Dissidia Final Fantasy Special Steelbook Edition. There's a Steelbook edition that's exclusive to Game, not the standard game, but you know what I mean. Again, I like to get the Steelbook copies of the Final Fantasy games given a choice, but this is obviously like a Final Fantasy type beat 'em up style type game. Okay. Okay, this game I got from PlayAsia. Again, it's all the packaging's in English, and the game does play with English subtitles, even though the language is Japanese. And it's a SD Gundam game. SD Gundam G Generation Genesis. So if you like your mech type robot type games, you know about SD Gundam already. But this is one of the better ones to get on the PS4. And like I said, you can get a proper English title, subtitle one with the English packaging off PlayAsia.com. I think it was just, I can't remember how much I paid for this. It wasn't expensive anyway. Yet. Okay. This one's cheap off Amazon. Again, I think it's about a tenner. Pinball Arcade Season 2. So on this one you get the Terminator 2 table and a few other ones which aren't based on movie licenses, I don't think. But yeah. Okay, this game, it's about a 10, I think, with some CX. The Inner World, The Last Wind Monk. It's actually got 2 games on 1 disc, it says. And again, it's like unusual art style graphics, but it's a type of a puzzle type game. I'm not sure it's point and click, but it's definitely a puzzle type. I got this from Smith's, I think it was. It was about half price. LA Noire, the complete edition, on all updated for PS4. You can get this for a Switch, but I'm quite happy to have an out-of-date version for a PS4. I do also have the Ultimate Edition on the PS3, so yeah. Okay, these other games are certainly ones you do not see in the retail stores often over here. 2 uncommon games which aren't expensive, but not very common. They're done by Sodesco, and that is Pharaonic. So if you click for PS4, look these up. You want to check the spelling there. Okay. And another one, World to the West, which is more like a top-down RPG, I think it is. But it's quite cute, yeah, art style. Okay. Okay, this game I get imported from the States. It's a PlayStation VR game that's exclusive to the States. It is Psychonauts in the Rhombus Ruin. Now, there is, I do believe, it's got a digital download of the first Psychonauts game on this as well, but you have to have an American PlayStation Network account. And so I did manage to set one up on my PS4. You just need obviously like another separate email address and an address and proper address and details for an American address, and you can easily set the American PlayStation Network account to actually download that game. So that's pretty good. Wasn't a lot of money. I think it was just about a £20 mark. Okay, this game got from Japan. This is probably about a 30 quid mark. It never got released in Europe, I don't believe. And it's Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3. Nice packaging edition. For PS4. Obviously you can easily get this on the PS3, but not on the PS4. You can get this in the States as well, but it's really expensive. The American version is super expensive. Whereas the Japanese copy is a bit more reasonable. Alright, these next lot of games I got from PlayAsia. Another American game. Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. Excuse me. Oh dear. Yeah. Pretty. It's not a unique idea, is it? Really? Schoolgirls with school uniforms going around killing zombies. We've been there, done that, haven't we? But again, it's an American game which we did not get in Europe, so I had to pick it up. And these next games are PlayAsia games. These are pretty much exclusive. I think, yeah, it was PlayAsia, and it's a really cheeky. It's like an RPG game that takes elements of like old school Dungeons and Dragons and type things, and it's not, it's got very much Monty Python-esque type sense of humour, I believe, and it's unepic. I'm not too sure if this one's still available from PlayAsia. It might have sold out. Also, we got Bleed and Bleed 2. This is a nice shooting type game, which I think you use both joysticks. You do. And also, I think this is a top-down game that has puzzle elements. Vesta as well. Yeah. PlayAsia are producing some really nice quality exclusive games, much better quality than what you get from Limited Run, and you got a fair chance of purchasing these, and they stay available for much longer. So You know, I think these are much nicer ones to collect for than Limited Run games, but obviously Limited Run do get hold of some good games, and so sometimes you have to be very careful and bite a bullet to get those certain games really, but really the Skypers, I'm not bothered with these ones, which is good. Gives us games a chance to get it and to have it in the collection. Okay, I do have one more thing to show, which is not a game. It's related to a game, which is my most favourite shooting game ever. It's a classic top-down bullet hell shooter called Battle Garegga, and from Japan. I was doing some research and came across this little box set. It hasn't got the game on. Where it has, it's like it's got a VHS copy of some gameplay. I don't know if it's like a making of or not. I don't know. I mean, I do still have VHS players. It's up in the loft, so I might have to dig it out and see if I can get it play. But it also has a soundtrack CD as well. Wasn't a lot of money, but it was a nice bit to have for a collection, because, you know, if you've got a favourite game, you might also get a few little bits you can for it. And, you know, I saw this and they took my offer and I got it for a nice price. It wasn't a lot of money, but it's really nice, really. So that imported from Japan. And that's it, guys. That's all my pickups for the past, well, mostly past 5 weeks, but that's some bits, you know, I have picked up before then, which I haven't had a chance to show you guys. So anyway, you take care, and until next time, bye!